Landman Season 2. Episode 4 is about to turn Cammy and Tommy into enemies, as Morel is determined to break these two strong business partners apart. And we need to talk about it. First things first, we need to talk about how Morel was basically taking over the entire Episode 3 by playing the long game. The moment Tommy walked into his office, you could feel that Morel thought of himself as the guy in control of everything. He said, "What I do is reinvest income. I diversify revenue. Where that revenue comes from is irrelevant." Hearing that from someone running cartel money through legitimate businesses honestly made my stomach twist. And then he and Tommy clashed over Cooper, with Morel reminding him, "You're not partners with me. You're partners with a 22-year-old kid with a net worth of a fucking 30-year-old pickup truck." And as Tommy walked out, Morel ended it with the line that made my skin crawl. "Every time you take a fucking breath, you owe me." That was the moment I realized this man isn't your average villain. He's operating in the shadows, hitting from every angle instead of head-on. And he clearly plans to use everyone around Tommy to get in deeper, including Angela. When Tommy was trying to corner the lawyer, which I'll talk about in a second, Morel was watching from the sidelines like a predator waiting for the right move. When Angela finally showed up from house shopping, suddenly the whole group, Tommy, Angela, Cammy, Morel, and Bella, ended up sharing drinks, like this was a normal night out. But underneath all the small talk, Morel was scanning everybody, figuring out how each person fits into his plan. He casually mentioned to Cammy that she might need an investor, and that was the moment I knew he was eyeing MTEX as another way to trap Tommy. When he'd said earlier, "I'm learning the scope of your thing as you learn the scope of mine," that wasn't small talk. He meant every word. Speaking of Cammy, she dug through Monty's paperwork with Rebecca and Nathan. You could see her slowly absorbing the truth. Nothing about her marriage or her company was what she believed it was. And honestly, I wasn't surprised. Men like Monty always leave trails of secrets behind them. Even Cammy admitted she knew he had things he didn't share, but she's now facing the possibility that he might have been way in over his head. Turns out the money flowing into MTEX wasn't actually covering anything. It wasn't even real MTEX revenue. Everything was being kept afloat on big credit lines, loans from everywhere, run through shell companies that led absolutely nowhere. So now Cammy is grieving twice, losing her husband and discovering the wreckage he left behind. So when she finally tracked down Monty's personal lawyer at the Cattlemen's Club, I completely understood why she snapped. Honestly, I was on her side the whole time. She threw 2 drinks in his face before Tommy even stepped in, practically begging for answers about the company. And this man still had the nerve to brush her off like she was nothing. When he said, "Well, it was his company, Tommy. He didn't owe you a goddamn explanation," I wanted to throw something at my screen. Cammy was right there. It's her company now. The disrespect was insane. When Tommy finally cracked a bottle over the guy's head, I didn't even flinch. And the way the lawyer kept dodging everything? Yeah, he knows more. You can feel it. So I'm really hoping the next episode gives us something that won't completely destroy Cammy's memory of Monty, because she deserves at least that. In episode 4, we will see Cammy at lunch with Morel, and he will start planting ideas in her head, trying to guide how she sees Tommy. He will talk about how he can support her and MTEX during this crisis, and then casually will refer to Tommy as a kind of snake. Cammy will call him out and ask, "Did you just call Tommy a snake?" And Morel will answer, "He is a hawk, and hawks eat snakes too." So yeah, he's about to make her a massive offer, but in return, he'll want Tommy cut out completely. So you just know episode 4 is going to put Cammy in the middle of a brutal decision: protect her company or protect Tommy. And before I forget, episode 4 brings Sam Elliott back, and we're stepping right into the emotional weight of Tommy's mother's funeral. We're going to see Tommy confronted with the truth about his mom, the childhood he went through, and a father who isn't letting him run from any of it. And on top of all that, Sam's character ends up back at Tommy's house. So, yeah, I'm more excited for next week than ever. For more weekly updates on Landman, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.